In previous lessons, you learned the basics of starting, stopping, and driving your car. In this lesson, you will learn more about advanced turns, curbside parking, and parallel parking. Before we learn how to turn, let's talk about how to make a safe and proper lane change. First, check traffic ahead of you in both lanes. Next, check your blind spot in your mirrors for traffic behind you. Then signal, adjust your speed, and gradually steer into the adjacent lane. Once you've completed the lane change, always remember to cancel your signal. Let's try another. Check your front and rear zones for traffic. Check your mirrors and your blind spot, and always remember to use your turn signal. Don't steer too sharply when changing lanes. You risk losing control of your vehicle. Let's try one more. Check your front and rear zones by scanning ahead and checking your mirrors. Check your blind spot, use your signal, then move over smoothly. If necessary, wait for traffic to clear to provide you with a safe gap to change lanes. At the next traffic light, we'll be turning left. When making a turn, begin slowing down about a half block ahead of time. Use your turn signal and move into the left turning lane or the far right-hand lane when making a right-hand turn. Use your scanning techniques to ensure that no other vehicles, pedestrians, or bicyclists are in your path. Next, check traffic on the right, center, and left. Even if you have a protected green arrow, always check crossing traffic. When turning left, turn your steering wheel just before the front of your car reaches the middle of the intersection. When making a right-hand turn, you would start turning when your front bumper is even with the curb line. In many areas, left turns can be made from what's called a shared left turn lane. Vehicles moving from both directions can use this lane to turn left. It's marked by a solid yellow line next to a broken yellow line. Of course, you must yield to oncoming traffic. Be especially alert if you meet an approaching vehicle that is also turning from the center lane. Let's see what a shared left turn lane looks like. After we turn right at this intersection, we will begin moving toward the shared left-hand turning lane. This lane narrows, so we'll ease over to the left. We make sure to check our blind spot and our mirrors, as well as use our turn signal. Now we'll change lanes to the left and move into the turning lane. The white arrow ahead tells us where it is okay to turn left. Make sure to scan traffic ahead and behind you. You may have to wait a few moments until oncoming traffic clears. Before turning, make sure that nothing obstructs your turning path. We'll take one last look at oncoming traffic, and when it's clear, complete our turn. Remember, always make your last scan in the direction of your turn. When looking for a place to park, look for spaces that allow your car plenty of room, and try to avoid spaces which are near larger vehicles or trees which might obstruct your view. As with any type of parking, always look for signs or other restrictions against parking, such as a fire hydrant or a yellow curb. We're going to park up ahead, in front of the lamp post, pulling in right behind the light-colored car. Remember to check your mirrors, then gradually ease over to the right side of your lane. Keep the front of your car pointed straight ahead, in line with the curb. Brake gently and gradually come to a stop. Pedestrians and other vehicles make parking potentially hazardous, so you should scan the parking area carefully. To enter a space, position your vehicle at least 6 feet out from the row with your intended spot. Signal your turn and check your blind spot. When your front bumper is even with the far tail light of the car in the space before yours, turn sharply and slowly enter the space. Straighten the wheels as you pull forward. To parallel park, pay close attention to this animated example. Then we'll drive through a real-life parallel parking sequence together. Now let's see what this looks like in a real vehicle. We'll park in front of the third car on the right. First, we select a parking space about 6 feet longer than our car. We check for traffic behind us and stop when our car is parallel to the car in front, with the back bumpers aligned. Next, we'll steer to the right and look over our right shoulder. We slowly back up, aiming for the right rear corner of the space. We steer sharply to the right until our front seat is even with the rear bumper of the lead car. We back up slowly while straightening our front wheels until our front bumper is even with the rear bumper of the car ahead. We continue backing slowly while turning the wheel to the left. When our car is parallel to the curb, we straighten the wheels and slowly ease forward to center the car in the space. If this seems a little complicated, just remember, like most things, you'll get better at it with practice. Now let's review and see what you've learned. Number 1. If you're in a left turn only lane, it's not as important to use your left turn signal. Do you think the correct answer is A, true, or B, false? The correct answer is B, false. Even though the other drivers see that you're in the left turn only lane, you should still use your turn signal to let them know of your intentions. Number 2. A center turn lane allows you to safely exit moving traffic while still in the roadway. Why would you use this center lane? A. To exit traffic while positioning for a left turn. B. To exit traffic when you have a flat tire. C. To pass another vehicle that's driving too slow. Or D. To make a left turn with the right-of-way. The correct answer is A. A center turn lane will allow you to make a safe left-hand turn. However, you do not have the right-of-way from oncoming traffic. Number 3. When parking at the curb or next to another vehicle, A. You should position your car to be parallel to them. B. You shouldn't obstruct access to a fire hydrant. C. You should obey parking restrictions, such as a yellow curb. Or D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. Number 4. Brandon thinks he's a good driver, but watch him as he changes lanes. What advice would you give him? A. Use his turn signal. B. Accelerate. C. Check his blind spot before changing lanes. Or D. Both A and C. The correct answer is D. Always use your turn signal and check your blind spot before changing lanes. Drinking and driving kills thousands each year. Remember, get there alive. Don't drink and drive.